Hey, welcome back to the Vorhagen Gradient. This is episode 2 of my Kerbal Space program tutorial. In this episode we've jumped ahead a little bit in the career mode, put together a pretty nice rocket, and we're going to fly it to the moon. Now, we've opened up some new options, especially this baby right here. I call it the Jesus pipe because it's a miracle worker. It allows for construction of the asparagus design, as you can see here, where fuel tanks feed into each other. Jettison one set of tanks, and the other tanks still have a full load of fuel on them. And over here we have the staging. Some people get confused by this, so let's run over it real quick. Basically, you just stage from the bottom up, and you just want to be able to get rid of excess weight as soon as you can and efficiently as you can. You see here these 5 engines. They'll fire simultaneously, and then this will jettison the first set of tanks that run out of fuel. This will jettison the second set, and this baby right here will jettison the main tank there in the middle. This engine right here is going to have to be enough to get us onto the moon and back. Then we'll jettison that once we get back into the atmosphere and use our parachutes for hopefully a soft landing that won't destroy our laboratories or our other experiments that we have on board. So let's see how it fares. Okay, here we are ready for a big mission. Now if you look over here, I've got these support struts up, and I've got it set up in staging so when the 5 rockets fire, those struts will let go simultaneously. Didn't that work well? There you go. Get that rock back into view. Don't want both of them because then you'd be way off. And look there at the fuel. See how 2 tanks are draining quicker than the rest? When those 2 are empty, we will jettison them, and the other 3 remaining tanks will have a full load of fuel left over. Then 2 more will run out, we'll jettison them, and our main engine will have full fuel and hopefully be enough to get us in a nice stable orbit and get us headed towards the moon. So, just like before, we're going to try to keep this thing vertical until about 10 kilometers, and then start to angle ourselves a little bit and get outside of the atmosphere and then set up a decent orbit. You may be asking, how do you know which tanks are going to run out first? Well, I'll do a video about the asparagus design later and tell you exactly how that works. Alright, we're starting our, wait a little bit long on that one. Start our angle. Try to get it not too deep. Let's see. That should work perfectly. Now we just keep on trucking until we get into orbit. Alright, we've just cleared the atmosphere. 2 tanks out of fuel, jettison, full fuel tank. Wonders of the asparagus design. Cut our engines, M key to go to the map screen. Set a maneuver node right there at the apoapsis. Pull the retrograde handle out until we get a fairly circular orbit. Now we're going to want to speed up time a little bit to get our rocket there at our maneuver node. line up that blue mark right there, which shows the direction you need to burn. And whenever you set a maneuver node, you really want to start burning about half the distance before you actually hit the node. So if your estimated burn time is, say, 1.5 minutes, you're going to want to start burning about 45 seconds before you actually hit the node. I got a little bit late on this one, but it's alright. I'm going to have to burn a little more fuel than I'd like. But we should be okay. And keep it right there on that node while you're burning. Sometimes the rocket wants to stray a little bit. Alright, here we are back in the map view. You can see our orbit is expanding. Any moment now it's going to get out there so we can actually stop burning and float around the planet for a little bit. Oh, it's getting close. Can you feel the excitement? Here it comes. Oh. Well, that was disappointing. Kill the thrusters, and now you can float around the planet as long as you like. But we're not going to float around the planet that long. We're going to set the moon as a target by clicking on it. Set as target. And then you want to set up a maneuver node at about a 90-degree angle on your orbit from the moon. The moon orbits this direction. You want to be in the opposite direction of that. So right about here should probably get us. Your prograde marker points at the moon. You're in pretty good shape. So you're going to want to pull on that and watch your apoapsis. It's going to slide out there, and there's your encounter with the moon. Now, if you look here, these markers here are your closest encounter. That's where you're going to. That's where your ship is going to be in relationship to the moon at any given time. And then you've got your encounter there, so you can, get an orbital transfer, then turn that into a nice little lunar orbit if you wish. You don't have to make it a complete orbit. There's several ways you can make a landing. I prefer to, well, let me show you. The first thing we're going to want to do is get ourselves over to the node. God, I forgot to position myself correctly, and I'm running out of time. There it is. Oh, I overshot it. Come on. Oh, yeah. There it is. A little bit late, but that's okay. It'll still get us our encounter. Not a big deal. Now you can see our orbit expanding there. Running out of fuel on that main engine. Probably going to have to jettison that. I'm not a big fan of using my landing and return stage to get back home, but looks like I'm not going to have much of a choice. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Alright, that one's gone. You'll see the estimated burn time changed. That's because using a less powerful engine, but we also have less weight. So it can go either way for you. Your burn time could increase or it could decrease. Here we go. We're getting out there. I'm going to throttle off a little bit using the control button so we don't overshoot. There we go. Hit the X button to kill your throttle completely, and you've got a nice encounter with the moon. The thing is, that's not going to put us in an orbit. It's just going to slingshot us by the moon and back into a orbit of Kerbal. So we're going to time warp up here. Got to be careful with it, because if you're not very delicate with the time warp, you could screw yourself all up. Here you can see the moon coming. There we've got our partial orbit. Now we're going to want to use another maneuver node. See what happens if we put it on the periapsis. Take this, that's your retrograde handle, pull it, and you've got yourself a nice little orbit there. See what happens if you move it a little bit further up. Still got a nice landing orbit. Could be kind of violent, but it's going to take a lot more fuel to get there. So we'll put it on the periapsis. Pull the retrograde again. Nice circular orbit, but why do that when you can put yourself on an orbit that'll smash it directly into the planet? I'm sorry, the moon. Oh yeah, that's going to work perfectly. I can't see any way that could possibly go wrong. Alright, we should probably time warp. Get ourselves there at the node. Let's line our ship up first so we don't have a repeat of the last fiasco. There we go. That looks about right. Time warp. Be careful, you don't want to throw yourself by the moon and screw up all this hard work. Even now, using the time warp makes me nervous. Especially when you start getting close. Almost there. And burn. You can see the orbit's starting to tighten up now. And there's a full orbit. Let's give it a little bit more fuel and get this baby tightened up so we can get ourselves on a suicide run. A little bit more. You can do it, come on. Oh. Let's go ahead and cut it right there. Save a little bit of fuel anyway. Yeah, this is going to be a very pretty landing, I'll promise you that. Alright, getting this view so we can time warp closer to the planet. I keep calling the moon a planet. I'm kind of a jackass like that. Alright, here you go. You ready to see an uber skillful landing? Because I'm about to take you to school. Oh, you cock-sucking motherfucking dickhole piece of shit. I will fuck your cat in the ass with a donut. You don't even want to fucking know what I'm going to do, you fucking piece of goddamn garbage. Fuck your mother in her ass. Hey man, I'm back. I'm all calmed down. Took a little smoke break. Hell yeah, I'm feeling so mellow. Oh, look at that rocket. Oh my, oh, there's the sun. Dude, I was talking about landing on the dark side of the moon earlier. You ever listen to Dark Side of the Moon, man? That stuff will just destroy your head. But in a good way, you know what I mean? Like it's just so deep, it goes on and you just can't get enough. Because they totally thought outside the box, you know what I'm saying? And when you start talking about boxes, you can't help but think about Schrodinger's cat. That's like the greatest paradox in the history of mankind. I mean, how can you explain something and then you can't help but wonder, what if the cat thought outside the box? Oh man, I try to wrap my head around that, but you can't wrap something that's freaking blown, man. You can't freaking do it, dude. It's amazing. You ever thought about how awesome it is to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The numbers are in my brain, man. They're all in my brain. They're all in my brain. Oh yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're gonna land on the moon, I guess. So let's try this again. We got our little crash course orbit set up. Gonna get ourselves a little bit closer to the moon and show you what to do from there. Alright, when you get a little bit closer, you're going to want to put your pointer right there on that retrograde marker and keep it there. It'll help you slow down your speed and keep your nose pointed in the right direction so you can come in for a nice vertical landing and not knock yourself over, which can be disastrous. It wouldn't be a problem with this rocket. I have some thrusters on the pod that would set it back up if it fell over. But if it's your first time and you're doing it with a kind of a primitive ship, you really don't want to fall, because you'll be stranded, and it can be difficult to run a rescue mission until you've opened up some bigger pods that will hold more Kerbals. Now I'm just burning down. You can see the kilometers counting down there. Kind of a long process. I won't bore you with the whole thing. We can skip forward a little bit. Alright, so I've just been burning on my retrograde marker, got myself slowed down, cut my engines, put down my landing gears by pushing the G button. A little bit more burn to scrub off some more speed before I touch down. And it's getting there. Oh, a little bit too much, but here we go. I think it's gonna work. Oh, crap. See if I can fix that. Come land. Oh, here. Stay up. Victory. And that is a successful moon landing. Let's right click on these, get some science out of them. Save it. Do that for the rest of them. Mission like this will really help your science efforts. Help you unlock a lot of stuff. Guess I'm out of them. I've got a couple laboratories set up here. I guess they're materials bays. They get some nice science too when you use them. When we get back home, we're going to be opening up all kinds of junk. Let's do a crew report. It's a good one. Now we'll get some big science. EVA, get him out of the pod. It's a long fall, but it's the moon. Who cares? Right on the butt. So let's right click on him. Get some science off of him. Then you can plant a little flag if you want to. Look at that. That's triumph right there. Got your flag on the moon. You can name the site. Then you're going to want to hit the R button. Get your thrusters up. And try your best to get yourself back in the pod. This drives me nuts. Little. Alright, forget this. I'm going to end this video now. Feeling still kind of weird from earlier, and I'll show you how to get back to Kerbal on the next one. Thank you ever so much for watching. Have yourself a good night. Peace.